Good evening and welcome to the Broadcasting Lounge. This is Doug, joined this evening by Corey Kitchen. How we doing, Corey?
How are, Doug? I'm good. We've travelled to Suzuka for what is round number 3 of the GTE series for autumn. Already chipping away. Already into round 3, and what a tricky track and some fun cars, Doug.
Certainly is. And speaking of said track, it is the infamous Suzuka Circuit that we are here at tonight. So
Yeah, the GP circuit.
yeah, it's a balmy 20 degrees outside with 32% level of humidity, but it's cloudy. No chance of rain out there for the boys. They could have done with a bit of rain while the Formula Ones were on, all those burnt corners that they had coming up, eh?
Yeah, I think Japan could do with a little bit of rain, just not too much. Could cause any more drama. But yeah, wasn't it odd seeing that many little fires on the grass on the side of the track?
Very, very. It was obviously extremely dry for their springtime over there. But that's our qualifying order, seeing the list over there on the side. And we're getting ready to run into our first heat race tonight. One of two races. The normal first race 22 minutes, followed by our 33-minute feature with a reverse top 10 grid. We've got a new name sitting towards the top of the times there, Corey.
Yeah, Rehan deciding to get some aero for the evening, and he's managed to nab a spot ahead of our championship leader, Stefan McAdam.
He has indeed. So Stefan there qualified second spot, and then we've got Nico Cordia, who's managed to grab third spot away from a very hungry Sean McNamara, who's done a superb effort of putting his BMW on fourth spot for tonight. But let's jump down and check out what's happening on the grid. The cars will be very close to following that pace truck out onto around through the final few corners. Let's see if we can pick up where they might be on track.
Just under a second, Rehan out-qualified Stefan too, so finally
Wow.
someone to put a challenge to Stefan. He's been having it easy, and we did put the call out, and somebody has, we call him our Batman, Rehan, tonight.
Yes, he's certainly got the Batmobile out, full thrusters, and he'll be ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, it's the reliability, is that going to be an issue? I don't know.
Sure.
And Pix Productions, Scotty, with a Fat Albert in the comments. Hey.
Yeah. It's Fat Albert.
And Mr. Zalewski, you haven't been in for the last week or so. You've been, hang up the gloves.
I believe that Chris said that he was away from home currently, so
Oh,
he
okay.
might be able to confirm those rumours, or he's taking a bit of a hiatus from said racing. But what an exciting evening of racing we've got here tonight, with 21 cars out there, 19 of them having set times. Possibly Steve Darren, or no Matt McDonald, but we'll keep an eye on that as that plays out. But here we go. We are very close to them getting ready to rock and roll.
Can I get a konnichiwa?
Konnichiwa. And we are green light away, running. Green flag is on, and here they go, piling into turn one. Looking pretty good so far.
Looking all good for everybody so far. Hopefully I haven't just jinxed anybody. Wayne
Yep,
Hartnell dropping some spots.
you did. You
Couple of
jinxed some
Team
of the
West
Team West
cars.
boys.
Oh, they're my favourites. Oh, somebody out there in the kitty litter as well.
Yeah, Jonathan Turner, also Blake Grenhall, doing a bit of that.
Cutting the grass, as they say.
Yes. And hopefully not setting any fires.
Well, a couple of them Team West boys sitting in second and third in the championship too. Jonathan Turner sitting in second and Christian Rydoff-Jenkins sitting in third. Of course, Stefan McCartan leading it at the moment. Phil Carpenter, Lou Robinson, Wayne Hartnell, Leith Swinney, Blake Greenhall, Bill Kilgour, Aaron Goodrick make out your top 10. It's just a case of follow the leader at the moment for these guys, just sort of getting into a rhythm around this annoying circuit. Yeah, I've always struggled here. Too many corners that get me all flustered. Aaron Goodrick in a battle with BJ O'Keefe. Gets it done. Bit of toe down that long straight. On board with Mr. Swinney. Duck's gone quiet.
Yes, just navigating through, trying to see where the good battles are at and what to watch for the folks at home. Yes, I was quiet. I was concentrating very hard. It's not automatic, this stuff. I'm in behind, reading the data, changing cameras, trying to pick out what's best for everyone, and providing you with what can hopefully be best bit of viewing possible. So I apologise if I do go quiet, and thank you, Corey, for picking up the slack. No Shano here tonight to give us all the in-depth data on the racing.
Yeah, the know-how guy. Anywho, we'll give a SuperCars NZ Broadcasting Lounge shout out to the Lutsky family. They've got a newborn at home,
Yeah.
so that's why he's been a little bit absent from racing, and we give you a pass, my friend. And I hope the wee one's doing well.
Well, apparently he's stored the wee one on the sim, because that's what I'm looking at. He's taken up all his spare time. So.
Oh, already training. That's good. Well, look at what Laz has done with Rehan. Must have had him at it early, and look how well he's doing. So, could be the way to go. Get him in there early.
Yep.
Or her.
Well, that's an assumption, wasn't it?
It is, yes. And again, Aaron Goodrick trying to get the toe and get a pass. There's been a wee touch. And BJ O'Keefe, he's off into the kitty litter. Luckily, no damage, so he'll be able to get himself back out on track. And it is double points, so yeah, so everything's still all good. You can recover it from here.
Yes,
Get the old head back down.
bit of a shame that, actually, but let's have a look and see what else is happening out through the field. So that wee touch there with Aaron has now tightened up that gap with Leith Swinney, and Leith under a bit of pressure from Andrew Uden.
Yeah, interestingly, that top five still as it was at the start. Leith Swinney is up 2, Andy Uden up 2, Lou Robinson, he's up 5 spots into 8. James McKenzie, he's up 8 spots into 9th.
Wow.
So that's a good climb early on in the race. We're only on lap 3, and we'll only be 22 minutes, so we just disregard the laps.
We'll bring up the that data there along the side so that people can see who's done what that you're referring to.
Yeah, of course you're happy as if you've got a little green and an up arrow beside your name, and you're probably a little bit sad if you've got a red one. Yeah, on board here with Stefan McCartan. I think he's just happy just sitting in behind here. He's actually gone faster than Rehan this race, but not much. It's a
No.
53.98 versus a 53.88.
Yeah. You can hear the tyres working pretty hard in that Ford at the moment, and right on the balance as well. I could just sense the rear of the car trying to slip, and those corrective hand steering gestures. If I remove this for a moment, you can see that the car is still managing to pivot while the steering wheel is sitting in the dead straight position. So he's certainly got it set up to how he wants it to be.
And I see Laz, he said that it's Rehan's first time in a GTE, and he downloaded the car yesterday. So just shows the talent of the young fella.
Yeah, he's obviously gone and done some homing laps and worked out how he wants to push through with it. But he certainly did an exciting qualifying lap time. I think he was about just a clear of a second quicker than the next car behind him at the beginning. I think Stefan may have brought that margin down a bit closer. You might be able to still see that information from the results, Corey.
Oh, yeah, what was I looking at?
Just what the final gap margin was between Rehan and Stefan there at the end.
0.499 of a second.
Wow, okay, so half of a
Oh,
second.
sorry, no. There. Yeah, roughly. Yeah, it's a 53.55 versus a 54.25.
So I just see back here as well, Nico Cordia's dropped a position to Sean McNamara, so I'll just have a quick look at how that happened. That's not Sean, that data moved, apologies. It was a very good pass. Well committed under the braking zone coming down into that chicane. Looked very tidy. Well done, Sean. And Brett O'Keefe recovering back into 10th spot. He's got Rodolph Jenkins just in front of him.
Yeah, right off showing that consistency is key as well with running in third in the championship after the first 2 rounds. So that's 4 races in as well. So this is race number 5. And yeah, there will be a 6th race tonight, and that'll be the end of round 3.
It's very good, and remembering we've also got the reverse top 10 moving into the feature, so Rodolph currently sitting there in 9th would be good enough for the 2nd spot moving forward into the next race. But I'd say with the pressure that BJ's putting on him at the moment, that he may not hold on to that one for too long. But we never know. Oh, a small mistake there from Kristen, and lucky he held on to it, but he did have BJ bump into the rear end of his car. He's opted to come into the pits, so wondering if they've got some data showing that they won't get to the end of the 22 minutes without needing a stop. There's Andy Uden in there also, Rodolph Jenkins and Tom McCall, teammates with Rodolph from Team West there.
Up the wires. I said every time I seen it on their bonnet, I was going to say it.
Right off, pretty quick time for him, having been in and out, and also just ahead of him, Leith Swinney had also come in and done a 6-second stop. So there's a few people that have been through the pits now. But, Brett O'Keefe now battling Daniel Heddershire after that, after losing one position to him as he was in that small wee bump and rub there with right off just before. Sean McNamara in third spot hasn't been able to quite shake loose Nico Cordia either, so could be an exciting one moving forward. And wonder if Stefan, with where he was sitting just in behind Rehan, was already doing some early fuel saving tactics.
Yeah, that's very, very possible, actually. I was actually sitting there thinking about that. Their last lap time, you can't even split it by a hair. It's fairly close.
Well, that's the last lap time data there. So 54.540 for Rehan and a 54.563 for Stephen McCartane there. So yes, ever so close.
Yeah, down in the hundreds, as you would say. It is good to see these cars a little bit closer. Of course, the V8s, they're always putting on a show, and there's always close racing. And that's, if you're into the V8s, looking forward to next week. Off to Mid-Ohio for the V8s, and then off to Monza in these GTEs next week, Doug.
Yes. And another great circuit. I like Monza. You'd think it's an easy-ish sort of circuit to get around, but it's one of those ones that once you start to master it and follow some of the faster cars around, you really, like you said before, you're splitting hairs over who ends up doing the faster laps, as we just watch James McKenzie and his Ford GT get it a wee bit wrong coming through turn 4 or 5 there, and it's probably more like turn 6 after you count all the corners and the S's and put it into the wall. So let's have a bit of a look here at the battle at the front and see if we can work out whether or not either of these two are actually pushing, or if they've got some strategy in mind. Les, Rehan's father, making another comment in the chat there, saying that Stefan has the experience in these cars, so anything is possible tonight, and that's very true. Very true, as we've seen him close that gap in and out.
I just seen this post from one of my favourite pages, Doug. It's Inbreds and SuperCars Threads. And he's taken a toaster to, somebody has taken a toaster to the V8s this weekend at Taupo, and got Chaz Mostert and Ryan Walkinshaw to sign the toaster. And it says, got Chaz and Woody to sign my toaster, but Chaz asked if I really liked breakfast or something. I'm not sure if he got the reference.
No. Maybe he'd think about it a bit later on.
It's good to have those friends that send you things that are good.
Yes, and also not to take away from some more exciting racing coming up this week. Live to you this weekend via some Sky Sports channels, or from going to it in the life of the real lifeness at Taupo Circuit in the middle of the North Island there.
And
the
how good was the
Gen3
news?
V8s over from Australia.
Yeah, that's right. And how good was we broke the news on Tuesday night about Ruapuna, and then it all started to come out. So we were actually the breakers of that news. I don't know if you know this.
We were the seed sowers of that one. I reckon one news and Velocity had all gone and jumped on the back of the SuperCars NZ bandwagon, really, and took our information of the V8s coming to Ruapuna as gospel. And I'd say, Corey, that we've solely made that happen. I'm going to state that.
We definitely were the starters of that one, weren't we?
Yeah.
I said that to Shano actually when I messaged him. Had a good laugh.
Yep.
So a couple of more cars are coming, so maybe nobody's going to have enough fuel to get in around this whole 22 minutes.
Well, it's interesting because what does that mean moving forward for the next race? Will we be looking at a dual stoppage?
What's the next race?
The 33 minutes.
Oh, right, yeah. I was thinking about next race at Monza. It's not going to be any different, so I was wondering. But no, next race, not the next round. Corey,
Yes.
Come on, get it together. Yeah, well, that is a good point. A two-stopper. Could be awkward. Had Stefan saved enough fuel?
So Rehan was in for a very quick stop on his one. He did a 5.98 second worth of fuel drop as Stephen McCartan comes into a couple of last sequences of corners here and see if he dives off for pit lane entry, and he does on cue. And does he hit the line nicely? Oh, be interesting to see what happens with that. There was certainly a lock on the tyre there, so we'll see with Rehan where this unfolds.
Yeah, is there enough for an undercut? It's a long front straight, but I think he's done enough. He's going to come out. Stefan's on the way out now.
Wow.
It's close enough. It's about where it was.
And Stefan, 5.5 seconds, so 400ths of a second quicker as far as fuel dump time is concerned.
Looks like everybody's now been down the pit lane.
They have.
A shout out to this week's weekly sponsor as well, our good friends at Extreme Auto Protection over in the Gold Coast. Got a bit of an international flavour, so if you're in the Southport area, and they do window tinting, vehicle wrapping, detailing, PPF wrapping on all vehicles, including boats as well. They must be close to a harbour of some sorts, and plenty of flash boats over that way. But yeah, maybe Steve, if you want to have a boat over there in Aussie, and then you want to have a big SuperCars NZ logo on the side of it or something, then I'd go see these guys at Extreme Auto Protection.
Very good. Nice plug, and thank you very much to Extreme Auto Protection for jumping on board and being one of our Race Week sponsors. We certainly appreciate it. The drivers appreciate it. It makes us well and truly able to do amazing things for everyone. Thank you.
It keeps the fun wagon rolling.
Ford GT versus Ford GT coming into the braking point here.
Bit of a flashy flash.
Yep. So let's have a look there. He's managed to bring that 1.2 down to a second gap now, as we're looking at just a touch over 2 minutes of racing to go. So
Yeah,
I'd
these
say
heat
they will
races work
complete
out
this, and then
perfectly,
there'll be
Doug.
one more.
My hour of power starts at 9 o'clock, and I found last week when we were in the warm-up, I could go put my dishwasher on and
Yes.
put the clothes in the dryer. So you might not hear me during the warm-up. That's what I'm doing. I'm being domestic, Doug.
Hey, no, and take nothing away from you, mate. You do your thing. I'll certainly find something to watch or someone to talk to.
All right, it's about grabbing a hold of that free hour of power and absolutely taking it for a ride.
You can turn your oven on and start heating up the house as well.
Oh, the heat pump will go on full, yeah, on powerful. That runs for half an hour and then hit it again. It'll run for another half an hour and then I'll turn it off.
Nice.
Keepers chaps.
There you go. So it's not too
Better
much,
living, everyone.
not too much more coming out of that one at the moment. But this is where we probably want to be watching a little bit at the moment.
Yeah, the battle continues. Nico Cordier on the back of Sean McNamara. There's only 0.29 of a second in it, and it's just the plan to follow the leader at the moment for Nico. Just going to wait for the mistake from McNamara. Oh, yeah, the mind games. Got a good toe.
Give him a nudge.
Oh, it's a fast corner, that, isn't it? Oh, there was. Oh,
Big nudge. Might have to go back and have a look at that and see if it was determined Sean moving under brakes, maybe? Not holding his line, I don't know. It was a hard one to pick. The white flag is flowing there too. Sean now suffering big time with the aero balance of that car.
That's my name, that name again is Mr. Plow.
Just needs to be done in a South African accent.
put an echo there, I think. It's very unlucky. I did hear Nico over the radio asking Sean, I didn't realise I touched you or something. So, yeah, that is more likely netcode than anything, I think.
Oh, apologies, I'll have a quick gander from here, see if they're... I thought... Oh, yeah. Well and truly netcoded. Unlucky. Oh, big lunge there from Stephen McCartan. Running wide and deep there as the boys come up to, well and truly the last fifth of this race. 2 more corners to go, but here it is. It's on with this man here. Well, young man, as we should say. Not old enough yet to party or drink.
Yeah, one of the fastest sim racers in Australia currently.
Yep.
Rehan, and one of the fastest in New Zealand coming in second. So the
Go.
Big Island wins this one.
Yeah. Well done, Rian and Stefan. Great battles. And Nico and Aaron here about to come across the line, 3rd and 4th. Leith Swinney up 3 to finish in for the spot.
Oh, Sean McNamara's having a rough time.
Blake Greenhall crossed the line in 6th and maybe out
Has he run out of fuel?
Out of gas.
Does that mean Louis helped him there? Louis helped him?
I think he had already crossed the line, so... Louis Robertson up 7 to finish 6. Sean McNamara, a bad run of it there. At the end, and escorted into what's a terrific roll by BJ O'Keefe, finishing 8th and 9th. And Wayne Hartle, Team West racer, finishing there in 10th spot. So that'll be our our reverse grid. Indeed.
Oh, it must be 9 o'clock. Right.
It is. So there we go. So looking at what it, what we got, 5 minutes of warm up now to happen. So Corey's disappeared off to go and turn his barbecue, his toaster, his waffle maker, and laundry basket inside out, and get all the jobs going with an hour of free power. You boys must be having a bit of a chit-chat and a laugh there. Excuse me, down in the SuperCars NZ chat group. But Rehan's come out for a wee bit to cut some laps. He'll be starting out of 10th spot for the next race moving forward. He'll be chasing Stephen McCartan, who will be one up from him moving into the second race. Should be a good battle to see how that unfolds. And Rehan probably in a position where he'd be wanting to keep an eye on keeping things smooth and easy moving up through the field, not wanting to get caught up tripping up over anyone's toes, and sitting on some of those back of those cars for a little bit, making your way through the field carefully, conserving those little bits and pieces of gas will be good. But I think the first couple of laps, probably going to want to stay as close as possible to Stefan and not allow him to get too far ahead so that gap is lengthened. We know Stefan, the formidable racer in the series and current championship leader here of the series as well, will be wanting to get back to his rightful position on the podium, claiming maximum points moving forward. We certainly love having our wildcard entries turning up. He's certainly more than welcome to come along and help create interesting battles anytime he sees this young man, Rehan. We're certainly a privilege here at SuperCars NZ to have him come along and race. And what an awesome first race he's done performing for us tonight. As we saw from that comments, first time ever driving in the GTE car itself, had only got the car yesterday. He may have done a small setup change moving forward, or he's just wanting to keep his muscles in tune with the race, keeping it in race mode. Not too many other people taking the opportunity to get out and cut any further laps. They've probably gone off for a quick rehydration, maybe a pit stop before they get stuck into the next 33-minute race. Moving forward this evening, kicking off in just a little under 2 minutes and 30 seconds now. Be interesting to see a few of the other boys as well, how they get on moving forward through the grid, as we saw the likes of Sean McNamara, who was sitting there in third spot, unfortunately coming unstuck towards the end, so he'll be just ahead of those guys wanting to make their way up to the front, so he will probably be part and part with that package. Brett O'Keefe as well, unfortunately fell off into the sand trap with that wee tag there with Aaron Goodrick in the first race. So another one to keep an eye on. He runs a pretty solid car, pretty good effort. Blake Greenhall and Jonathan Turner and Nico Cordia all there in the Porsches. Along with Rodolph Jenkins and Andy Uden. Those guys were doing very well at the beginning of that first heat race. So we've certainly got the cream of the crop. Lots of people to keep an eye on as warm-up rounds out to a finish, and we will start to see.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
And they shall. And we shall see some cars getting ready.
That one was for
to,
Louis.
Yeah. The cars back on the line. So once again, thank you to Rehan, and thank you to the Australian school holiday system that's allowed him to come along and join us, as we see from Laz's comment on there. Looks like they're enjoying themselves in the car, which is awesome to see. Hopefully he'll come along for the race next week as well at Monza.
So Wayne Hartnell, he has got himself pole position for this one. Alongside him is Brett O'Keefe. Second row back there, Sean McNamara and Louis Robinson, sorry. And third row, Blake Greenhall leaves winning. Fourth row, Aaron Goodrick, Nico Cordier. Fifth row, Stefan McCartan, Rehan Lianagay. Sixth row, Dan Turner, Christian Jenkins. Bit of a Team West lockout there. Seventh row, Andy Uden, James McKenzie. Fifth row, I'm out to eight. Bill Kilgore and Thomas McCall. And then JT, Jonathan Turner, running off the back.
Yeah, no Daniel Heddershaw yet. Wonder if he pulled the pin on...
Yes, he has. He's parked in the
that
garage.
one. There we go. Okay, thank you for the update on that one. Let's have a little bit of a looky here from around here, and maybe a bit of a controversial camera for watching the race.
Yeah,
it's
one of those cameras on that
really long
invisible
GoPro
pole.
stick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this one better? There we go. That one's probably a wee bit better.
I reckon go in car and we'll see how he fares this first lap.
Alright. Roll bar, dashboard, and hide.
Good start from Wayne Hartnell and BJ O'Keefe. He's had to get straight on the defence. Sean McNamara alongside him down the straight. Great start from him.
Yeah, Stephen McCartan already up 2 spots coming into the first corner, so that was a big leap for him. Oh, there we go. We've got some opposite locky things happening there from Rehan already. Those tyres certainly not up to the level of warmth as what they were in the last race. So Wayne Hartnell, Sean McNamara's made one move over Brett O'Keefe, Louis Robertson still holding position, and Blake Greenhall. A few cars off to the side, a wee touch there
somebody
from
has gone through the
Rehan
grass
with Nico,
and
just unable to hold the brakes coming across the grass there. Unfortunately, Nico's managed to go and collect Rehan on the way back through. I think Nico had
Dan Turner as well.
There's some wobbles going on that rear end of that car. That's taken a large thwack to the rear end, and that wheel is not straight.
That is a bit broken.
So that's going to be a hard one to recover from, and an early pit stop that probably wasn't needed just at that point. So we'll check in a minute and see how he gets on towards there. We'll jump back towards the front and see what's happening with the racing. Blake Greenhall and Louis Robinson are coming in through the final chicane. Aaron Goodrick making a power move, nearly taking both of them.
Yeah, we know Blake, he's not going to let Aaron away with that. He's going to push back with the door touching, and Stephen McCartan just sitting there waiting to take his pickings. Oh, he's gone around the inside of Lou. He's pushed him wide onto the grass.
3 wide.
Then Aaron goes round the inside, and Stephen McCartan, he's still there. He's made up 2 of those positions, or 1 and a bit. He's alongside Blake Greenhall at the moment. Good little piece of racing, Douglas.
Fantastic racing indeed.
Ooh, that got hairy. That got hairy, a little bit scary. Lou, he went out onto the grass. And Aaron Goodrick, he just took those 2 positions just like that.
He did, yeah. Moved up very nicely. You see the disaster zone of the previous lap incident. The cars all coming through on there. So I wonder if we can depict from that who was first to set off that drama. It possibly looks like one Dan Turner, unfortunately. We'll check in and see about that in a minute. Stefan McCartane near eyeballing Aaron Goodrick. Stefan already up 4 spots from where he started and not taking any amount of break from moving forward. Some very great racing taking place there, and still nice and tight through all these guys here. Tight. Very much so. Looking over the front of Leith Swinney's Ferrari GTE here, staring at the back of Blake Greenhall. This is the tightest bunch of races out here as Blake pulls off a monumental save.
It would be the first time.
He was doing savey drivey stuff last week as well, I think, in the Porsche, and I do put it down to the balance of that particular Porsche and the GTE having a mid-mounted engine, and it more or less drags the car off to the side rather than having that pendulum swing toe effect that we see from the traditional Porsches, where once they lose the rear end they continue around at a great rate of knots. Sean McNamara making a move here at the front though on Wayne Hartnell. Moving up into first place, and Brett O'Keefe possibly looking at wanting to take a position for himself as well. In the slipstream of the draft here, will he be able to close that gap? Not just yet. How tidy will he go through 130R here? Gentle lift and back onto the power. Committed dive. Bit of gentleman's room given up by Wayne there at the end to not allow for too much touchy.
And don't forget, folks, if you need some new threads for winter, you can get yourself a SuperCars NZ hoodie. All you got to do, and if you do, you send through your receipt or your proof of purchase to the SuperCars NZ Facebook page, and you'll go into the draw to win yourself 50 cash back. How good would that be? Get yourself a new SuperCars NZ hoodies. They're in black and white, and then I've got the big logo on the back of them. They look absolutely fantastic. There's singlets. You got crew neck jerseys, t-shirts. You can get yourself a hat. SuperCars NZ. You can check out on the SuperCars NZ community page or on SuperCars NZ. You will see a link through to the company that makes the stuff. So yeah, I've put a link in the description here, well, in the chat, and I pinned it. So yeah, get yourself some new threads and support the SuperCars NZ community and get a chance to win yourself 50 cash back.
And they're worthwhile mentioning, and I certainly not saying this obviously because it's our brand, and I was skeptical when I first heard the comments about it, because I obviously wasn't here soon enough as part of the SuperCars NZ team for the first run of the jerseys and hoodies that got done. But when you hear the boys turn around and say that the quality of them are so good, and the fact that they don't fade and they wear so well from people who wear them inside out, pretty much day in, day out, and they don't miss a beat, they still look just as good as what they did when they first came out of the packet, pretty much.
I'm still waiting for my merch.
We'll make that happen. Quality. I still jump into mine whenever I'm not working, and still one of the most comfiest hoodies that I ever sling on, and can still wear it with a great array of different clothing choices, and still looks as pretty good from the first time that I put it on. Holds its colour well, wears well. The writing on it doesn't, on my one, hasn't faded, torn, stuck to itself, any of those things that you might suspect might happen. Goes in and out of the washing machine and dry from time to time, and yeah, really good quality. So check it out for sure. Coming into winter, it'll probably be your best friend.
Yeah, definitely coming into winter, everybody's going to need to get themselves a new hoodie, and why not grab yourself a SuperCars NZ one? I reckon that's a fair choice, and we'd love you for it. And you can win $50 back, so that'll probably mean your hoodie cost you $20.
Exactly.
How good would that be?
And you could also get yourself on board with one of those caps now that we're battling the daylight savings season with the low sun mornings and the low sun evenings. Keep mine
I reckon I'm going to need me a beanie.
Sitting up on the dash there, and throw it on in the evenings on the way home. Protect my eyelids.
Yeah, it's a bit sad. I'd like to go outside and watch the sunset because I can see it quite nicely from my house, and I haven't caught it a lot this week because it's gone down too early. Sucks.
How's this for a good-looking battle up here at the front? Both cars there defending their line, wanting to come into the final chicane. Stephen McCartan well and truly glued to the rear end of that Ferrari as he makes his wee pull out to the side now. Overlap has been successful.
That's the 10-year KRF Corvette there, Dougie, that he just got around. But it's got 22 on it, so it's the 22nd year on the door.
How fantastic. Yep, and it does say 22th.
It does, yeah. It's meant to have a 10 on it normally, but BJ's race number, obviously.
Yep.
But that car got second in Daytona, 24 hours. No flag.
Rightio, let's take a quick moment that I said I was going to do earlier to depict what happened there at the start of the race with a few cars crashing out early. This is Dan Turner. He's run wide and actually followed Stephen McCartan across. And yeah, that's a big moment.
A lot of kitty litter debris on the track, and the cars will be getting that bright yellow flag come up every time they come up to that corner.
Oh.
So was that a Nico into the back of Rehan, and he was into Dan? Oh, so Rehan got together with him there.
Yeah, so I think from what I can see there, so if I do a bit of this, and then click on...
Super slow.
If I can find his name. So it looks like Nico runs a wee bit wide. The rear just starts to slip a wee bit, so he comes back across.
Is that Stefan? He's mowing the lawns?
Yes, well and truly. So unfortunate contact by Rehan and Nico, just not having any go on hitting the brakes, and just one car length is all he managed to slow that vehicle down before having a monumental rear end front contact there. So
yep, all cars have been in the pits, got themselves all new panels, and
Yep.
Off they have gone again in record times in under 5 seconds.
They are. So here they are here. So there's Nico Cordia there. Dan Turner follows him by 3.5 seconds. And Rehan follows Dan by just a little over 2 seconds there.
Ooh, Sean McNamara leading the race. Be loving that.
Yeah, currently hasn't lost any further ground to Stefan just yet.
I don't think Stefan's in any hurry at all. We've seen about lap 8 last time cars come down the lane and get some fuel. They're going to have another 11 minutes to race this time. Are they going to have enough fuel to do 2 stints? We're going to find out. Just under 20 minutes to go. How do we look? He's just happy just to sit there, I think, at the moment. BJ O'Keefe, he's just sitting in behind there as well.
Yep.
I haven't seen the blistering pace that Stefan had in the last race as well. That they were doing 154s. But yeah, he hasn't got out the front yet, but a lot of race to go.
Yeah, we're slowly approaching what would be the halfway mark, a couple of minutes away from that getting to be true, as they get close to completing a full 8 laps of the circuit. Sitting just in those, occupying that mirror space. Early turn in there by Stefan. Not quite ready to, or close enough to consider throwing it up the inside line. Quickly flick and switch around. It's certainly on the pointy end of the car.
And if you're like Shano and you're heading away to the V8s this weekend, you can catch the MRP team down there. They've got 5 racing simulators down there. So you can try their cutting edge simulators, and you can go on the chance to win yourself a Track Racer TR120S. So yeah, get ready for the high-speed action, because we're bringing the 5 incredible racing simulators and motion VR to the V8s. So that's pretty awesome. Whether you're a pro or a first timer, this is your chance to feel the full adrenaline of the track. Don't miss out. Absolutely. So yeah, they'll be somewhere. Don't know exactly, but where the concessions are, I guess there'll be an area. Get yourself in there. Get a chance to win yourself a chassis if you want to upgrade, or even if you haven't even been a sim racer and you've been thinking about getting into it. But yeah, get along to the V8s this weekend and find the MRP team, our proud sponsors of our Thursday nights, Barry and the team. Thank you very much for that, Barry. We absolutely love you for that.
Yeah. And what a way to introduce yourself to online sim racing if you haven't ever been on a simulator before, going along and jumping on one of the fine machines there from MRP. It's going to be hovering around the has been in Taupo Township, and will be somewhere near the racetrack and the vicinity of set up there. So yeah, 100% go and check them out, jump on one of the machines, and then get in contact with the man and say, hey, I want to get involved with SuperCars NZ and their racing. Can you help me out? And you'll be introduced to the fine gear that a lot of our drivers run here also. All those cars just dived for the pits all at the same time. Stefan, Sean, Brett, Aaron, Wayne, Blake and Kristen. Every other car that hadn't pitted so far, and now including Jonathan Turner, all the ones that hadn't stopped earlier are now all in there, and Stefan not wasting any time to shake a leg and get out of there. You see the gap back to Nico Cordia. So he was the first of the, or the last of the last of the guys who had been through early.
Good recovery from Nico though. He's managed to get up 3 spots from where he started just with this pit stop. But obviously that was pretty early on in the race. He's going to have to stop again fairly soon.
Rehan and Andy Uden there coming in, both of them for their second stoppages now, and we are, I'd say, at the we are past the halfway mark of as far as racing goes. So Rehan now just got to keep his head down and cut some consistent laps. See what he can do.
Yeah, got a bit of clear air around him. Just put your head down and enjoy your school holiday night, young fella.
That's it. Have some fun. Take the learnings away from it and realise that that unfortunate event at the beginning, not solely to rest on your shoulders. It's certainly tough working with these cars, and there were a few cars all under cold tyres. Aaron Goodrick be waiting to have another chance at doing a bit of an undercut pass on some of the drivers.
Yeah, just hanging it in there. Nothing changed with these three. Still the same little battle going on. BJ hasn't found a way past Sean McNamara yet. A little mistake there. Seen a bit of a slide from Sean McNamara. It's going to put him under a little bit of pressure here from Brett O'Keefe. Oh, that was a right-hander. Definitely a few fast corners at this track that can catch you out too. Heavy on the brake. Sean goes a little bit wide. That's given a chance to Brett O'Keefe, who's alongside again. He's still pushing. He hasn't given it up. We know Sean McNamara will never give it up.
No. That's certainly one thing that he's not renowned for doing is giving it up.
A couple of little mistakes. Yeah, he's made a couple of mistakes, but he's just fought straight back, and it's managed to save him. BJ will be absolutely loving this. Some good racing. Good run out of that corner from Aaron Goodrick. He's now put pressure on Brett O'Keefe. That horrible large chicane. You get a bad run out of there and this long straight. You see Aaron, he's got the pressure on alongside, trying to get into the toe of Sean McNamara maybe. Looks to have got the job done.
Yeah, them under their wee battle has managed to create a small gap for Sean to have some fresh air, a little bit of less stress moment.
Yeah, Stefan McCartan, he's opened up a 6.75 second gap there at the moment. We're approaching the 10 minutes to go. Take a moment to thank our weekly sponsor. I'd moved my hand and was pressing the wrong button.
That's
Your
right.
one-stop shop for detailing ceramic coatings, window tinting, vinyl wraps, PPF, paintless dent removal. That's a tough job, that one. And
Oh, yeah.
touch-ups, extreme auto protection, and they're in Southport on the Gold Coast. Any of our Aussie cuzzies that are watching and you're in that area and your car's got some dents, these guys can help you out. So that's extreme auto protection. With Corvettes going at it still.
Yep, they are. Aaron's got a pretty good run through that final section of chicane there. He's got a good handle on how he does that one.
Battle for the top 10 here. Well, 9th position, James McKenzie and the other Ford GT. Jonathan Turner, he's upset, both of them up 7 spots into P9, P10. And other than Stefan, they're our biggest movers. Stefan McCartan up 8 spots, obviously starting off second from the back in the top 10 there.
Wow, rapidly closing in.
Good job with the paints this season from the Team West boys. And,
Yes.
the up the wires on the front, up the wires. Yeah, Dan Turner does the paints for Team West boys.
There you go, Corey. So
Up the wires. Yeah, he actually messaged me, Dan did. He said, have you seen it? Oh, I said, what's that? And he sent me a picture. Loved it. Big game this weekend. It's lost 16 in a row to Melbourne, so it'd be nice to beat them and feel good.
100%. I like the livery that the Misfit Entry boys have gone for there as well. Matte black with a bit of a fern on the rear, and then nice Misfits logo on the side, looking very tidy and professional. The
I was thinking it
green
kind of
accents.
gave off a 7-Up vibe.
Yeah.
I had a friend, we went to KFC once, and he ordered Zip Up. Yeah, slow day.
Oh,
Bit of a touch on the door. That Ford GT won't like that. It'll put out a heinous sound.
but there we go. That's Jonathan Turner now moved into 9th spot.
Yeah, P2 in the championship going into the round 2 for JT.
Two quick guys out towards the back, unfortunately. Well, not out towards the back, they're just outside the top 10.
Yeah, both fought their way back quite well, haven't they?
Nearly 27 minutes into this 33-minute race. They may be able to close on that, getting into that top 10 if they're lucky before the end.
Yeah, they are actually running a little bit quicker than the 4 or 5 cars in front of them.
Yes, just a little bit.
Yeah, 3 seconds there. They've gained on James McKenzie in that last lap. Still sitting just over a second behind him at the moment, but gaining. 2 seconds, sorry.
Still no change here for the guys sitting at 2nd, 3rd and 4th.
Yeah, these two managed to get back up behind Sean McNamara now. Is he going to get a bit of pressure from AA Ron? Another absolute fierce competitor, Aaron Goodrick. Ginge, as he's been called, or AA Ron. That BMW is just so stable. It looks like they found themselves a good setup, not having that rear end letting go on them like it has been, or it's
Yes.
being easier to save maybe this
Yeah.
week. Good job to hang on to second though. These two have both had a go at nipping on Sean McNamara's heels.
Very much so.
I'm wondering how their gas tanks are.
Yeah, that was the big one that I was wondering about. So
About 4 odd minutes to go, so we're probably looking at getting 2 laps in. So I'd say they should be pretty right. Touch and go.
there's a move by Rehan on Nico there, around the outside, moving himself up into 11th spot. James McKenzie having a bit of a drama there too. Rehan's actually now moved into 10th spot.
Well, if we were having another race, he'd get pole off the next one. We're not.
Nico having a bit of a moment running off the track. We'll see what happens here. Oh, it's a bit of a
Have
double.
you missed a braking marker?
And then that's where Rehan got James just running a little bit wide out of that corner there too. Seven and 8, Rideoff and Blake. The two Porsches having at it. Out the front though, and leading just over 10 seconds from spot number 2 is Stefan McCartane. I did say while you were away that he'd be wanting to reclaim his rightful spot on the podium, and I think it would have been quite a good battle moving forward between him and Rehan if it wasn't for that very early on wee whoopsie. But Stefan doing Stefan things at the moment.
And meanwhile, Sean McNamara managing to hold on to that second step on the podium at the moment. Tell you what, BJ O'Keefe's not going to give up on a podium though. He's going to be hanging on to the back bumper of Aaron Goodrick.
Very much so. He'll be sizing up knowing that there's possibly only a couple of laps of the race left to go. Need to make something happen soon. Aaron will also be aware of that and going, you're not doing that to me with only 2 laps to go.
Yeah, not today, son. Not today. Get it, boy.
White flag being waved there, and Sean McNamara moving left and right down the straightaway, being followed by Aaron Goodrick trying to stay on that toe.
Yeah, he's done enough to get himself a second spot, I reckon. Sean McNamara, all barring me giving him a jinx on this last half of the lap. Yeah, this is me jinxing Sean McNamara. No, it hasn't worked. Lou Robertson here
Teammate.
on the back of Jonathan Turner. The front runners Get over halfway around. Stephen McCartan will come around to take the checkered flag very shortly. 12-second gap he's got at the moment. As we see here, Brett O'Keefe still trying to apply a little bit of pressure to Aaron Goodrick.
Absolute insanity how close this racing has been through there. But coming through the last couple of corners here now, Stephen McCartan, well done, mate. Well deserved run through to the finish line. P1 in the feature, P2 in the first is a great round out of points in my books. Sean McNamara, Aaron Goodrick and Brett O'Keefe coming across the line, second, third and fourth. Aaron holding off Brett there just towards the end still. Leith Swinney, fifth across the line, ahead of Wayne Hartnell, who started the race from P1, reverse top 10, moved up into, well, down to 6th spot for this race, but mighty fine effort. Blake Greenhall rounded out spot number 7, right off Jenkins there in 8th. Rehan, spot number 9 for him. Pretty damn good recovery if you ask me. Nico also for him to get into the top 10 after the early spill was awesome to see. JT in 11th over James McKenzie, 12th spot. Louis Robinson coming home in 13th over Dan Turner, P14. Tom McCall rounds out spot 15, and a couple other guys just not quite finishing the race. Andy Oden crashing out, finishing up on lap 13, and an early departure halfway, well, 10 laps shy of finishing the race. Bill Kilgour. But what an exciting evening of racing that has been. And I think I'm going to take the opportunity, Corey, to get us round up quickly, because I've got one more day tomorrow of work to get through, and that's another 10 past 4 alarm that that I'm patiently waiting for to arrive.
Absolutely no worries, Douglas. Well done.
So, yeah,
please.
thank you very much for joining me along here tonight. I hope I've managed to fill a small void that is a rather large hole size of Shane White from his usual Thursday appearance.
A hole filled enough, and I'm pretty sure Shane's heart is full enough after getting a picture with little William Brown today.
Yeah, little Will Brown, and it was lovely to see, and we hope that you're enjoying yourself there, Shano. You deserve a nice wee breakaway for the V8s. So make sure you go and whisper in those people's ears at the MRP sim stands about our little SuperCars NZ League, and also our other friends across at New Zealand Sim Racing TV that we've also been coming at you for tonight too. For those of you that joined in to watch, we appreciate you turning up. It's been lovely to have wee chit chats throughout the evening. A big thank you to Barry from Manon Racing Products for looking after our GTE series here with the SuperCars NZ. If you're thinking about getting into sim racing, certainly implore you to check out Manon Racing Products Sim Gear, and get in touch with us if you're interested in joining in any racing. Final shout out to this week's race sponsor, Extreme Auto Protections out of Southport in Australia. It's been mighty fine having you on board once again. To all the drivers for tonight, well done on your racing and on your current championship standings. We look forward to seeing you all again next week with the V8s as we head to Mid-Ohio on Tuesday, and then with the GTEs on Thursday to Monza. This has been Doug, Corey in the lounge. Love you.
Gentlemen, start your engines.